Hello, my name is Robert Cervantes, and this is my final assignment for Strategic Management and Business Policy. With me is Dr. Matthew Polk, Executive Director of Prosper Waco. Thank you so much for helping me with this assignment.
Happy to do it.
All right, so explain to me what Prosper Waco's mission is.
Sure. Prosper Waco is what is called a collective impact initiative, and it's collective impact is a kind of new model for how you do social sector work, so how you address big challenges that all communities face. And really what it's about is about building a format for collaborative work amongst multiple stakeholders across multiple sectors in a community. So you're talking about the public sector with your local government, you're talking about the business sector, you're talking about the nonprofit sector, education, and so forth. How do you get people who operate in different silos, have different interests, different goals, working together to address big picture challenges like poverty, like homelessness, like educational outcomes, public health outcomes, and so forth. So what Prosper Waco does, my team, we're what's called the backbone organization. So our job is to be the organizations that pulls the stakeholders together, generates a dialogue about what we're trying to achieve in our community, sets measurable goals to that, make sure that we're tracking data that shows whether or not we're achieving the goals, and make sure that all those different partners that I named have an opportunity to plug into a common effort to move the needle on some really big things.
Do you find that you're measuring every step, or do you have milestones?
Right. The goal with collective impact is to set big goals, because the whole logic is if you've got a challenge in your community like poverty, it's something that no one organization, no one program can solve on its own. There's no silver bullet to something like poverty or homelessness, these types of things. So the idea is set a big goal that multiple stakeholders can buy into and then track your progress toward it. And so we set a number of goals within 3 broad areas: education, health, and financial security. Identified some things that we think if we can move the needle on as a community, then our community will be better. And when I say we, not just the Prosper Waco team, but a wide range of stakeholders operating through a steering committee. So one quick example for education, one of the goals is increasing the number of students who are academically ready for success in school, so kindergarten readiness. So that's the kind of thing, we know it's a challenge in our community because of a high level of poverty. There's data around that because the local school districts actually assess students' readiness when they start pre-kindergarten or kindergarten. So we can actually track whether or not we are as a community working together, increasing the number of students who are academically prepared to be successful in school based on the data from the school district. The interesting thing about collective impact is that even though you're sharing the same goal as a range of stakeholders, one of the elements of collective impact is what's called mutually reinforcing activities, which is just a fancy word of saying there is no silver bullet. It takes multiple efforts and multiple approaches attacking the same issue to move the needle on a big issue. And so the nice thing is it's set up to say we're tracking data toward a big commonly shared goal, but it's going to take a range of efforts and organizations doing a range of things to make that happen. So it kind of doesn't allow for groupthink, because the idea is we've all got different pieces of the puzzle and different parts to play to all get to that big goal.
Let me read you this statement.
Okay.
This is a book called Great by Choice.
Okay.
The statement is, discipline, in essence, is consistency of action, consistency with values, consistency with long-term goals, consistency with performance standards, consistency of method, and consistency over time. Mm-hmm. Discipline is not the same as regimentation. Discipline is not the same as measurement. Discipline is not the same as hierarchical obedience or adherence to bureaucratic values and rules. What are your thoughts on that? Do you find that to be true?
Yeah, I mean, I think that passage that you read, I mean, sounds like a great description of self-discipline. The idea that discipline is something, in its best version, is something that's internal. that's intrinsically motivated, that's not externally imposed. And so, that to me sounds like a very, very good description of that, is that that's what you want on an individual level, it's what you want for your kids. If you're a parent, it's what you want for your organization. If you're a leader, you want internal motivation, internal drive to adhere to goals and pursue a long-term outcome, and not always having to impose that from the outside.
So, how much do you think luck plays in your daily life?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's, being in the right place at the right time is something that is just part of being successful. I mean, I think anybody who's been successful will tell you that they worked hard and they planned and, all these things, but they were also in the right place at the right time. So I think as an individual or as an organization, that's just the way it happens. I mean, you see that in business. Sometimes there are great ideas and they don't take off for whatever reason at one point, and then somebody else, makes it work. And I think that's a combination of strategy, hard work, but also what you might call luck, or, just the environment and all the factors just being right at the right time.
Right, and the convergence
Right.
of all those things. Yeah, great. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah.
We're out of time, but I appreciate you helping
Yeah, thanks.
with getting this A.
Thanks so much. You deserve it.
Thanks.